Hi, everybody, whoever's watching. Apparently 5 minutes live. I'm live for a little bit, and I didn't even know it. Hello, hello. I can hang out with you guys for 5 minutes. I was getting everything prepped. And YouTube started automatically. That's different. Let's get some music playing in the background while we hang out. Hi, everybody. We're live. We've been live for a little bit. Hanging out, waiting for the stream to start. But it is 9 o'clock. So we can go ahead and get started. Hello, hello. We'll wait for people to hop on. I just sent the message in Discord. Today we are looking at Character Creator 4. We got some fun things to talk about, some new things to talk about. Hello, hello for all of you who are joining us. Hello, hello. Welcome back, Saturday streams. We were put on a small little pause as we were getting Character Creator 4 ready, launched. Our plugin is completely interoperable. We were ironing out all those little bits and bugs to make sure we were ready to go for this stream. We have a couple other mini streams here and there to announce this, to introduce this, but now we're back onto our regularly scheduled programming of, for the next couple weeks, playing with this really cool tool. And that's what we're looking at today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Just giving it another minute here. And we'll talk about what is on the docket for today. Welcome back. Welcome to our Saturday stream. We were on a brief pause as we were making sure Character Creator 4 and our plugin were working perfectly together. We're almost there. I wouldn't say it's perfect. I'm sure we'll stumble across a bug here and there, but it is near perfect. I played with it a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into it. Cut this music down even more. Let me pull up some of our fun little announcements here. Awesome. So hi everybody, welcome to our Saturday stream. We are back here at 9 o'clock on Saturdays. We should be here next week. We took a brief pause because we had a new plugin come out. We had big announcement parties. We had little streams here and there where Jordan and some of our other wonderful team members were streaming and talking about this amazing plugin they were building. They built this. They did this. I'm just here to show you how it works. But we released this really cool plugin. I got to play with it a little bit, and I'm really excited to show you guys today and show you how seamless it is. And it just works. It just works. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. So Character Creator 4. If you're unfamiliar with it, Character Creator 4 is a character designing program, a lot like MetaHuman. It's been around for a lot longer than MetaHuman. Let's get me out here. Character Creator 4 is really awesome. I had not played with it a lot before our plugin launched because I am traditionally trained. So I was creating my own characters, but the versatility of Character Creator 4, me being able to play in it this last couple of weeks has been amazing. It is a great program. You can download it. You can try it for free for 30 days. And if you try it for free for 30 days, you can try it with our plugin. As long as you've got MetaTailor Pro, which I know you all do because you get so many more tools and so many more options for signing up for MetaTailor Pro than our free version. Free version, fantastic, but it just opens so much more when you join MetaTailor Pro. But if you get MetaTailor Pro, you can play with Character Creator 4 free for 30 days and see if you like it. If you do, you can then subscribe to Character Creator 4 and have this perfect interoperability. That's a word that's a lot easier to type than it is to say. They go back and forth really well, the two programs. So we're gonna take a look at that today. And what's really cool is the character we're going to be taking into MetaTailor and transferring over to Character Creator 4 seamlessly, perfectly, is going to be just this random Halo Spartan armor that I found on Sketchfab. This is the exact model that we're going to be grabbing. You can go on, you can grab this link. I'll drop this link in the chat right now for anybody who is interested in grabbing it from Sketchfab and following along. Completely free to use, free to play with, but it is made by McCarthy 3D. The Spartan armor right here that they rigged in Mixamo. But this is what I downloaded. This is what I pulled down and separated in Maya. So this has nothing to do with Character Creator 4. This has nothing to do with MetaTailor, but it's going to work. I'm pretty sure. I got about halfway through the testing and it looked pretty cool. So that's what we're going to take a look at today. You can hit download 3D model, but this is what we're grabbing. Something off of Sketchfab. No relation to either of these two programs, to show you how cool and how crisp these user interfaces are and how well they work together. So we talked about Character Creator being free for 30 days. We talked about what we're going to do. The other thing I want to show you is right now you can get $10 off your first month if you sign up for Pro. for MetaTailor. I'm going to drop this link in the chat as well. You can get $10 off your first month if you start signing up for MetaTailor Pro right now. So that is available to you. So all these awesome deals, all these sweet deals. Hop in, join MetaTailor Pro, join me, do what I'm doing. Get your characters out of Character Creator, get them dressed in MetaTailor, and bring them all together to throw them into Unreal, Unity, wherever they need to go. Let me go ahead and grab that link for our first month, $10 off. Copy link, come on. There we go. So that first link, if you're just joining us, is the actual Halo Spartan armor that we're going to be modeling and adjusting today. The second link is $10 off your first month of MetaTailor Pro, because you do need MetaTailor Pro to use this plugin. But you already have it. You already bought Pro. All of you are hanging out with me in the Pro version of MetaTailor. So let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at the actual Spartan armor we have. So what we're doing today is we're taking the Sketchfab armor, this Halo armor, and we're bringing it into MetaTailor. We're going to apply it to a character in MetaTailor and transfer that character over to Character Creator. There's a couple of steps here and there that we're going to talk about as we go along. But before we get started, what I did is I downloaded the Spartan armor, and I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like right when you download it. So let's go to the desktop plus me again and bring all that up. Here we are. So I'm going to hit File, Open Scene, and here's the Spartan unmodulated. So if you download that FBX, it comes out like this. It has a skeleton in there that I deleted, but here is the armor that is straight from Sketchfab. Only thing I did was delete the skeleton and download the FBX. No textures, but everything is there. Everything is also combined. So when I'm talking about modulating, what we have to do to get this ready for MetaTailor, for Character Creator, for anything, is break off some of these pieces. So that would mean going in here and going to face mode and grabbing this thigh, and hitting shift right click. And where's my separate? Keep them separated. Here, I'll go to object mode. That'll be faster. Object mode. There we go, object mode. And there's my separate. That broke off all these pieces, so then I can go in, I can delete this thigh because I just mirrored over. And I would take this piece right here, this piece, these two little light pieces right here, and this guy right here. After separating everything, I'd combine these back together, and then I would export out this thigh piece right here as an FBX to bring it into MetaTailor. I would do the same for this suit right here, this undersuit. What I did, though, is I did delete the face. I don't need the face, so I deleted this whole head right here. And that's what I brought over for MetaTailor. I already did all this for us, so we don't have to worry too much about that. And then you just start going in. I would delete the left half here because I can mirror all that over. Delete the left half here, delete the left half here. Then I'll come over here and I'm like, all right, what else do I want to export? I can export this whole thing as like a shin guard. So I'll combine all that. And then I would go to File, Export Selected, and turn it into an FBX. So when I'm talking about modulating our armor, modulating what we're working on, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about taking this out of Sketchfab and just making it engine ready. And by engine ready, I mean MetaTailor, Character Creator 4, because yeah, they could use this entire bodysuit as one whole suit. MetaTailor can absolutely just take this FBX as it is, and you can attach it to an avatar. It just won't look good. So by taking these extra steps in Maya or Blender, you can have a lot more control and a lot more customizability of your characters and what they're wearing. Let's say you didn't want the shoes. Let's say you just wanted the Halo helmet and you wanted to do your own armor on top of that or anything like that. This gives you that control. By modulating it, by breaking it down into pieces in another 3D software, it gives you more control. That doesn't mean you have to do that. And we'll get a glimpse of that later if we get a chance to look at the Mesh Extractor, which is a tool in MetaTailor that lets you bring in a fully dressed character and extract out all the pieces. If I was to bring in this FBX, everything that's combined would be its own piece, so we'd still have to go in and separate it and recombine some of those pieces to get the Mesh Extractor working out of MetaTailor. So like I said, I already did all this for us. I was just showing you very briefly what you would need to do to get that set up. So let's go ahead and hit File, Open Scene. And so here is the completely modulated, ready to go Spartan armor. Like you see, I deleted the left half, and each piece has its own helmet, under armor, thigh armor, belt armor, arm armor, a glove. We probably won't be bringing in the glove today because gloves do not transfer over to CC4 yet. That could be something in the works. I'm not sure. Bicep armor, pauldron, body armor, calf armor, and shoe. The glove would absolutely work in just MetaTailor, but we're focusing on getting something from MetaTailor over to Character Creator. So this is all modulated, ready to go, and I already exported all these pieces out. So let's go ahead and close out of Maya, because that's all you would need, Maya or Blender or whatever your 3D software of choice is. You can do it in Max, 3ds Max. And let's take a look for a moment at Character Creator. So I've got Character Creator here. And what we're taking a look at is we need to be able to take a Character Creator character and bring it into MetaTailor. Anything that we dress in MetaTailor has to be on a Character Creator character. We can dress the MetaTailor characters, but they can't port over to Character Creator. It needs one of their characters to work. I don't have any characters ready to go, so we're going to export one over to MetaTailor together. The other thing you need to have is you have to have MetaTailor open. It won't open MetaTailor for you. So I'm going to grab Kevin, their basic avatar right here, and open him up. And we're going to export Kevin over. I was about to say, if it's going to take a little while, I'll go ahead and hop over to MetaTailor and play in it. But here's Kevin. Textures loaded. Fun little character here. Ooh. Getting used to their camera setup. There we go. So let's export Kevin over to MetaTailor. How do we do that? Hit the button. That's it. It's so easy. And then it sends it over to MetaTailor so we can get this character creator dressed. Character creator character dressed. And it works for any of these characters. All right, it's done. Bar's gone. We can minimize Character Creator for a moment. Let's go ahead and open up MetaTailor. And it prompts you, let's create a new project. I'm going to call this Halo Kevin. Halo Kevin. All right, it imports Kevin in. He's ready to go. He's got all of his textures straight from Character Creator. There is a small bug we're working on. We just saw that happening now. It'll also give us a small glimpse of the mesh extractor. As you can see, as I got a little bit closer to Kevin, his underwear disappeared. That level of detail kind of little bug hiccup we have right here is something we're working on getting rid of. But if that happens, don't panic. Just zoom out. And just zoom out and he'll put his clothes back on. Fumbled that. There we go. All right, so Kevin's ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and hit next step. And here is this mesh extractor. We're going to do this again later in this stream. And we're going to take a look at how great this does of separating out clothes and creating stuff. But we can see right here, it has automatically highlighted an article of clothing. It knows it's called boxers. It's putting it right here. And we just have to choose what category we want that to be. And that's going to go into pants. And what it's going to do is it's going to separate these two meshes. It's going to extract these two meshes. It's got the Kevin avatar. Which did we name him? We did not. Let's name him Big Kev, CC4. So we've got the actual avatar right here. It'll import that avatar, and it'll import this underwear on this character, already pose match where it needs to be, and it is going to throw that into our pants library. So let's go ahead and next step. Now it's asking for our landmarks. If you've watched our previous live streams or any of our educational videos that are on our YouTube channel, follow us on our YouTube channel, like and subscribe down below to make sure you see more of these live streams. If you've seen this, sometimes this can be a little difficult. Sometimes this task can be a little tedious. We have made sure that if you're moving from Character Creator to MetaTailor, it works perfectly, that all the landmarks land exactly where they need to be, so you don't have to sit here and mess with them and finagle with them. All you've got to do is come in and hit next step. Now it's thinking, it's getting everything set. It's saving out that avatar, Kevin. And then we can start getting him dressed. It puts those boxers on him. If we want to keep them on, we can. If we don't, we can take them off and work with just the model. I'll get rid of them for now. We'll work on this model. And you can see they're right there under our My Content and everything right there. If this is your first time in MetaTailor, if you're following the stream, jumping in, you're like, what's going on? What's all this cool stuff? This is where we design our clothing. This is the heart of MetaTailor right here. This is our canvas. This is our workstation, whatever you want to call it. This is where we get our characters dressed. Over here on the left, we're going to have our dynamic layers. We're going to start adding some of these Spartan items to our character. There are some items I have not imported yet to import with you to show you how that import looks. Up here, you can see it says Design, Import, Export, Physics, and Marketplace. All of those are different options to pull in different things. MetaTailor is your kit bash of avatar creation. This is where you can get your character dressed in whatever outfit you want. You can import meshes from Sketchfab, things you've created in ZBrush or Marvelous Designer, and it takes those dumb meshes, those meshes that have no physics, have no weight, and it skins them and turns them into smart meshes that just work on your avatar. And we're going to see that when we start importing some of these armor pieces on for the Spartan. I didn't want to take the whole stream making this an import stream. We have other past streams where we did that, where we import avatars, where we import clothes. We've got lots of YouTube videos that walk you through how to do each article of clothing and how to import it and get it to look as best as it can. That's not the focus of this stream, so I've kind of grabbed some of this stuff already. Let's start by applying the Spartan bodysuit and seeing how well this works. When I imported this, oh, that worked perfectly. When I imported this Spartan bodysuit, I did it on the MetaTailor basic character. I did not do it on any character creator for characters. I don't have Kevin yet. This is the first time I've imported Kevin into MetaTailor. And look, that bodysuit, this full bodysuit just works. It works on our character. Let's see, can we get some animations on this guy? We can get some animations on this guy. Let's go ahead and put in a male walking. Look at that. We've got a small gap here. No gaps up here, just kind of small gaps down here, small gaps down by the toes. Those gaps can be easily fixed with the tools just by adding a little thickness. I can add a little shrink wrap to it as well. So it thickens the mesh but keeps it tighter to the body. We got a little heel right here. I'm not too worried about that because that's going to get covered up by some shoes in just a moment. If I really wanted to, I could use these mesh tools to fix that and clean that up, but it's not necessary. So this Under Armour bodysuit right here just started working. It didn't take anything. I'll put it back to our bind pose, our nice little A pose right here. Go back to our content browser where I have all these things that I imported, and let's bring in that Spartan belt. Once again, I got this set up on one character, a completely different character. All you have to do is import these things once. Import the avatar once, import the clothing once, and it works across all the avatars or all the clothings that you have in your library. They just work interchangeably. They come in, they work, they sit exactly where they need to be. It follows those landmarks. Once again, they're smart meshes. They wrap around the body exactly where they need to go. Look at that. That belt sits perfectly against his body. Let's go ahead and bring in the Spartan thigh. Right there, there's that thigh. Sitting really nicely, sitting really well. It's changed to the shape of his thigh right here. That's awesome. It's only on one side, Mark. How do we fix that? MetaTailor's got the answers for you. We can just mirror it over. And it draws it over, and now he's got thigh armor on either side. Let's throw in the Spartan chest. And then we're going to have to go in and start bringing in our own things. Start importing some more things. Look at that. This was downloaded off of Sketchfab. This was not made for Kevin. If I wanted to, I can go into a different avatar altogether and apply it to one of our past avatars here. I can show you, I can put it on our MetaTailor male right here, change avatar, transfer it over. He's in a T-pose. And it fits and it shapes to his body. I can put it on Bernice. I can put it, did I ever fix Karlach? Let's see if we fix Karlach. Transfer it over to Karlach from Baldur's Gate 3. Completely different body shape. Couple of tweaks here and there to get it to clean up. Right here, you can see I need to add a little bit more thickness for her mesh. I could probably scale this down a little bit here in the front, but this is a completely different character, completely different body shape. Let's throw it on... I don't want to throw it on the Demogorgon. I know it'll work, it just won't look great. Let's throw it on this Brute character and see how well that looks. this orcish brute kind of character. More muscular, completely different build in the chest. And it works. Seamless, easy transfers. Let's go back to Big Kev because that's what we're focusing on. Click of a button. Everything that I did earlier just works in between them. As I import more things, those will just work. It just works. It's taking that dumb mesh and turning it into a smart mesh. All right, back to our clothing. Like I said, we need to start importing some things. And then we can send this right back to Character Creator. Import, let's go cloth and accessories. I have this hidden under Spartan right here. And my FBXs. All right, so we've got the belt. I don't have the bicep. I've got the bodysuit. I've got the chest. Let's go ahead and start grabbing the pauldron. Let's go on top here. So this is a shoulder piece. It's looking good. I do have some normal maps I haven't imported in yet, so we can import some normal maps. This is looking at chest. That's the material I'm looking at right here. So I'm looking for my Spartan chest normal and hit open. Ambient occlusions. This one doesn't have too many normal maps. That's fine. Spartan chest AO. Let's grab some roughness. Spartan chest roughness. There you are. Spartan chest metallic right here. And I like to dial my metallic up a little bit to make sure we can see that. Any other? We got... Oh, that's why. We'll see the normal maps pop in. I'm like, why aren't any of these changing it? It's because it's technically got two textures on there. So shoulder, normal map. So let's go Spartan, find our shoulder, undersuit, legs, helmet, legs, chest. Oh, there it is, shoulder right there. Shoulder, normal map. And just pushes in those details a little bit more. Shoulder, ambient occlusion. Shoulder roughness. All these textures came with the download from Sketchfab. And dial up that metalness. Smoothness, there we go. If you want to change the name of it, you can right here. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and hit next step. And then it asks you, okay, what piece of clothing are we making? This is a pauldron. This is sitting up here. It's going to be kind of moving with the shoulders. I think I'd call this a shirt. I'd call this a vest, or I'd call this a backpack. I'm probably going to call this, where would I want to find this? I'd probably want to find this under shirts. So I'll call it a shirt. If you want to, you can try keep source dimensions. That makes it a little bit small. That takes it to the size of the Maya file. So I'm going to keep it at this grown size right here. Next step. And I'll scale it down. All right, I'm going to go ahead and scale it down. It doesn't know that I plan to mirror it, so I'll move it over. Move it up, and this is supposed to just kind of rest on top of the shoulder right here. Whoa. Let's scale it a little bit more uniformly this way. There we go, maybe even a little bit more. Rotate it a little bit this way. The nice part about like just doing one side of it is it's a lot easier to place and pose. Right there. And confirm. If it was a little bit more detailed, we could try to do a pose match and match our body to it. I like to do this even just to preview a pose warp, make sure there's no warping in it. And there's not, so I'll hit confirm. And next step, let's see it place it on top of our armor. All right, so it's working okay. It's manipulating the armor on that side. I think we needed to pull it up. I didn't compensate for that armor. So pull it up and rotate it and get it into place right there. Maybe pull it forward a little bit more. I don't want it clipping. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I also might still be a little too big. I have a habit. I've got the Blizzard syndrome, where I like to make my pauldrons absolutely gargantuan. That's how I was born and raised. You can see it was clipping before, but because it's a smart mesh, it does move that out of the way to try to get it to not clip. Click on that pauldron again, go back to our tools. Let's mirror it over so he has one on either side. And there we go. Let's bring some more pieces in. Let's grab the bicep. There it is. It's on chest. And the default material. The default material is not a material that I have, so I'm just making it a nice high saturation kind of green color to have like a little green light showing up on the character. The default material, but for the chest, I can go in and I can add those normal maps. Chest normal. AO normal. Roughness. And metallic. Dial that up a little bit. Next step. Once again, I'm going to call this a shirt. Next step. This is the bicep. We're aiming for right along the arm right here. Let's scale it down. Placed. Maybe a little bit bigger. And with these, you only have to hit about 60% accurate, and MetaTailor will do the rest for you. It doesn't have to be perfect. All right, that looks okay. Let's go ahead and do a little pose match here. Pull that arm back a little bit. Down a little bit. That. All right, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and hit confirm. We can do a preview pose warp. Doesn't do too much. That's good. Confirm. Next step. Let's see how it does. Now, I purposefully did the bicep after the pauldrons because I knew they would clip each other. And this is the magic of dynamic layering. This pauldron is on top of the chest, which is correct, but the pauldron is slipping underneath the arm. That's not how shoulders work. So what we can do is, all we need to do is take this Spartan bicep and drag that beneath the pauldrons, and our dynamic layering will shift what's on top. This is absolutely amazing if you're trying to untuck shirts or tuck shirts, have different things in different places, have like pants on top, boots on top, stuff like that. The dynamic layering is what sold me on MetaTailor the very first time I saw it. I'm like, that in and of itself is just an amazing tool, and it's one of the most simple things that you have access to in our free version. It's one of our most powerful things, and it's one of the coolest things. And it's free. All right, mirror that over, put a bicep on the other side. It's coming together. Let's import some more stuff. We can do our forearm. We're going to skip the glove for now. If we got time, I'll do the glove at the end because MetaTailor's glove tool is just awesome on its own. MetaTailor can do gloves. CC4 can't do gloves right now. Arms. Arms normal. Arms AO. Arms roughness. Arms metalness. Whoa. Next step, call it a shirt. Next step. Get it into position. All right, that's pretty good. We could keep trying to sit here and get this kind of pose perfectly on the arm, but we could also do a start pose match and start just trying to get the arm to match for us. Like that. Oh, that worked almost perfectly. Just shifting that wrist a little bit. All right, preview pose wrap. It moves that arm around. Confirm. Next step. It's not clipping. I'm still going to bring it below the bicep just in case. Mirror it over. The magic is you only have to do one side. There are options. If you wanted to do both sides, you absolutely could. If there was a difference, and in one of our past streams, we did this like orc assassin, and he had like blades on one arm, and the other arm was normal, and he had a wicked-looking pauldron on this side and a rather regular leather piece on this side. You can absolutely import two shoulders and have two separate shoulders to get your desired look. This character is very symmetrical, so I didn't need to do that. I can mirror over anything that's on both sides, and that's the beauty of it. You have that option to do that. All right, let's grab the last couple of things here, the shin and the shoe, and of course our helmet, the most important part, and we'll send this back to Character Creator 4. Import, cloth and accessories, FBXs. I'm gonna do the helmet last. Let's do our shin, legs, legs, our roughness, and our metallics. Next step, call these pants. We've been calling everything else shirts. For this one, I think I will keep source dimensions. The size it scaled it up to is a little bit big. Scale it up. That pretty much covers the whole knee. Oh, that's pretty good. Confirm, let's do start pose match. I'm gonna bring my foot over just a little bit. Up a little bit. So when I bring it up, it's kind of looking at this where it sits, and then I can do my preview pose wrap. You can kind of show how it's going to bend and deform to match the bottom of the foot there. And that did a pretty good job. I'm gonna keep it like that. We have whole videos dedicated to importing in objects, importing in clothing, outfits like that. So if this is something that's really interesting to you and you haven't seen this before, once again, go back into our YouTube channel. I've got streams, I've got individual videos walking you through how to import all this stuff like I am right now and talking about some fun tips and tricks to make sure you're doing it to the best of its ability. All right, let's get the last thing for our bottom right here, our shoes. Yeah, I am watching the chat. Ask any questions you might have on any of this stuff. All right, shoe. That's all under legs. Let's grab all those normals again. Ambient occlusion. Roughness. Metallicness. Call it shoes. Shoes. There we go. Next step. Let's bring it in. Bring it over. Bring it down. It's a little big. I want a little bit of a tighter fit here. So we'll scale it down a little bit. Let's confirm. Let's do not making it too huge. There we go. Clipping a little bit out the bottom there. Next step, let's give it a try. Crushing our toes a little bit. So a small tweak and that's fixed. And we can mirror it over. And if we really wanted to, I could show you how ugly this would, how powerful the dynamic layering is and how ugly it'll look before I do that. Let's save, just in case. Save. before I potentially crash it. Let's hit save. You could drag the Spartan bodysuit on top of all of this, and MetaTailor will try to wrap that on top of all of the... It did a really good job of wrapping that bodysuit on top of everything as if he's saran wrapped. Let's bring it back down. But the dynamic layering was smart enough to do that and wrap everything up. All right, the last thing we're going to do right now is that helmet. Let's import it in. Our iconic piece. What turns this from just some general space marine looking guy into the Halo Spartan outfit. Armor is the Spartan helmet right here. All right, so we're on the helmet. This has two parts. It's got the helmet. Add our roughness. Add our metallics. It also has this ears part right here just for the two pieces on either side. So I can come in here, Spartan shoulder, Spartan ears, and just add the normal maps for these two pieces here. And their ambient occlusion, everything that goes along with them. We'll call this our headpiece. We've got hair, but we've got head, which is more for helmets and their like. Move it back, move it down, scale it up, move it down. Come underneath here, take a look at it. It's looking pretty good. Confirm. Confirm. Next step. Let's wrap the helmet around the pauldrons a little bit. If I want to, I can pull that up a little bit. And confirm. Let's put the pauldrons on top of it and see how that looks. So they're not affected by it. And it's not affected by them. There we go. It's looking pretty amazing. So we've been doing all of this to Kevin. We've been adding all of this to the Kevin character creator avatar. Now how, after all this wonderful work we've done at MetaTailor, after designing this whole suit in MetaTailor, do we get this over to Character Creator? Well, we go to Export. And there's just a big old button right here. You can hit Send to CC4. So if you hit Send to CC4 and you don't have it open, MetaTailor will open up Character Creator 4 for you, but you might just have to hit it a second time once it's open. The other thing you have to make sure you have is in Character Creator 4, when you're about to send it over, you have to make sure that you've got Kevin ready to go. If you've got another person in here, it'll still send the clothes over, but it won't line up. They'll be trying to put Kevin's clothes on the Toon Goon right here, or Kevin's clothes on Party Female right here, and they won't line up. So the only other thing you have to make sure is if you're importing Kevin or exporting Kevin out of MetaTailor, make sure Kevin is who's ready in Character Creator 4. So let's go ahead and hit export, send to CC4 right here. I don't have to hit export itself, send to CC4 right there. Loads it all up, gets it ready. Pop over to Character Creator 4. It's importing all that stuff over. Will it just work? Will it be perfect? We're going to find out together. It's a big file. Oh, look at that. That's a super awesome site. Imagine this for your video games. Imagine this for whatever you're creating. You've got a character, you want to put an outfit you found online. You want to put an outfit you designed on the character without having to worry about all that extra work. Not only that, but it's rigged. It's ready to go. You can see we need to add a little thickness there. Clean that up. It's rigged. It's ready. It's animated. The only thing that needs a touch up is that undersuit. Look at all these pieces. Look at how they're moving. Look at how they're skinned. Look at that. There is nothing out there like this. There's nothing out there that can do what MetaTailor is doing. There's nothing out there that can do what MetaTailor and Character Creator 4 have created right here. The only thing I had to do is put all of these pieces in here. Let's try transferring it to another character. Let's grab. I want to grab someone with a distinctly different body shape. Let's grab Camilla, because then we can take Camilla's clothes out in the mesh extractor. Current project will be discarded. Would you like to save? I could, but I'm going to hit no, because we're going to try to get this same Spartan armor onto Camilla. Now that we've imported it once, we can hit replace character and keep outfit and see what it looks like. It probably won't work, but I'm going to just hit replace all. I don't need to show you a messed up stream. I want to show you what it looks like correctly. I don't need to show you it breaking, because it would break. All right, Camilla's coming in here for us. Here's Camilla. Sorry, I'm getting... The camera controls are just slightly different between the two programs. So my brain's breaking just a little bit trying to flip between those. Here's Camilla. Let's drop it from motion to pose to our A pose. There we go. I don't know if I have to select everything. Let's send Camilla over to MetaTailor. And now we're going to see the mesh extractor at work. We saw it a little bit with our last character and the underwear that we're wearing. We'll see it with more clothes now. We've got another character right here with light armor. We could do that whole character's, the entire armor set would work. All right, taskbar's done. Open up MetaTailor, importing Camilla in for us. Ready to go. Taking a look at Camilla, I'm going to grab a different character so our stream does not get cut off. There's nothing inherently wrong with Camilla. It is just something inherently wrong with YouTube. I saw something that YouTube would not be a fan of. So let's, instead of Kevin... I mean, I can put it on a goofy character. I don't love putting it on a goofy character. Let's transfer Eddie over. Eddie looks like a different enough body shape. Eddie's way more cartoony because he's got way more spindly legs. He's got some really cool clothing pieces, though, that I want to kind of throw into my MetaTailor to maybe apply to different characters. Let's see how it works on this cartoony character. So grab it all, send it to MetaTailor. I'm a fan of this stylized cartoon look myself. A couple of our past streams, I like to grab outfits like from Marvel Rivals and stuff like that with that almost real cartoony look. Taskbar is gone. Let's jump over to MetaTailor. What was this character called? We call him Eddie. We got Big Kev. We're gonna call him Little Eddie. He's not very little, but he's a juxtaposition to Big Kevin. Little Eddie has some strange pieces. The UVs did not work perfectly, but that's okay because everything else worked fine. Little Eddie had some secret things in here as well, but look at how the mesh extractor is automatically working near perfectly. So it's highlighting all of these different things, the boots, it's giving them their own categories, it's avoiding the actual avatar pieces, like the eyes and the body and the teeth, but it's grabbing the gloves, the glove cut. If I want to, I could just kind of get rid of the gloves. I don't want to bring those gloves in at all. I can get rid of the pistol. I didn't want that pistol. Where are you? You are a pink color. Gun 2 right there. I can get rid of the helmet part. I didn't want the helmet. I just wanted Eddie. It's separating out Eddie's hair. Hair front. Let's grab it and add hair front and hair base to the same line. Just got to make it the same color to do that. Then everything else is just working. I just cut out the pieces I didn't want. Then for this mesh extractor, you've just got to go in and tell which part is. Boots, those are shoes. Cyber legs, those are pants. Hair front, we can call that hair. Jacket, we'll call that a jacket. Knee pads, I'm going to call those pants. Pants, I think I'm going to call pants pants. What is the protect? What are you? I'm guessing you're this color right here. And I can just kind of test it by doing that. And then giving it its own color again. Yeah. So that's that part right there. Protect, call it pants. I kind of want to actually make that the same color as the pants. Make that part of the pants here. Because I wouldn't use these without the pants. I would use those together. Just like I probably wouldn't use the cyber legs without the knee pads. So I'll go in and I'll make the knee pads the same color. I might make those different. Never mind. I might make the knee pads different. I could use those on a different character. Those don't have to go with the front of the leg here. All right, the strap. Yeah, I mean, it kind of goes with the jacket, but maybe I'd use that on another character. I'll call that a vest. And t-shirt, I'll call that a shirt. All right, so I just extracted all the pieces I want, cut out the pieces I didn't want, and I can go ahead and hit next step. He is all set, ready to go. All of those poses are perfect. Hit next step again. Bring in our new avatar. He's got all those great clothes that we now just added to our library with the mesh extractor. UVs are slightly off here and there, it looks like. Especially with the legs. That's a small little bug from it coming out of CC4. Oops, I want that hair back. We'll bring that hair back in just a second. Get rid of our pants, get rid of our strap, get rid of our t-shirt. Why do we get rid of all that? We can apply the hair front even though that's some wacky looking hair. We can just make it our own color. Figure out the color map. What color do I want this? Let's bring this down to like a, there we go. 30, 72, 38, and the rest of this doesn't matter. 30, 72, 38. Let's do that for the base. 30. 72. 38. There we go. All right. We extracted all those pieces. We can apply them to whatever we want. But more importantly, let's start applying our Spartan bodysuit. Let's make this guy a cartoony Spartan. I'm going to add some shrink wrap to that, bring it in a little tighter to this character because he's got a weirder body shape. Give it a little bit of thickness to kind of maybe clear in some of those gaps that we were seeing in the last one. Oh, that looks so cool already. Just that bodysuit looks cool. All right, let's keep adding the different parts. The belt. The chest. The thigh. Mirror that over. Not the boxers. Pauldron. Bicep. Forearm. Shin. Shoe. We'll save the helmet here for a second. All right, let's start adjusting these. Mirror it over. Grab our shoe. Mirror it over. Mirror you. Mirror you. Grab our pauldron, bring it up to the top. Mirror you. So the big thing I'm noticing is just some of these armor pieces are a little clunky. Let's shrink wrap them. Because he's got weirder shaped legs. He had really spindly, thin legs. So we can shrink wrap these, get them a little bit tighter to the body. Just a global shrink wrap like that. Get those fitting a little better. Oh, that looks good. I'm only going to shrink wrap you guys a little bit because I kind of like how clunky they are on the thighs compared to the rest of the legs. Looks good, looks good. Look at that. We just made like a cartoon Spartan. Let's add the helmet. So the helmet's going to kind of break with the hair. So at this moment, I delete the hair if we were going to have that helmet be actually there. And look at that. It just worked. No I mean, small tweaks here and there for the very differing body shapes. But everything else, I just hit apply. I didn't have to adjust. I didn't have to clean it up. We did it once. It'll work for any avatar now. And let's send it back to CC4 with a simple click of the button. Exports it all out. Will it work on this different character? It's thinking about it. His hair's sticking out just like ours was. It's got a bunch of elements it's bringing in, all those textures it's bringing in. And it just works. Let's add some motion to it. Some cool poses. I can figure out how to get rid of his hair. And Character Creator. Display, eyelash, mouth, eyes open, at a foot, hand, blink. Like I said, I'm still learning Character Creator. If there was a wonderful little outliner that told me what I was looking at, that would help. But I don't have that, do I? That's okay. You'd always take the helmet off and still have everything working just fine. Did he talk with his hand with the talking animation? Oh no, it's up here. Back to our mail. Nice walk. And it just works. Hello, I have a question about how to fix cloth in MetaTailor between upper arm and shoulder. Some cloth, when character rises their arm, and that area cloth is getting ugly. So that's Character Creator 4. I'm going to answer that question. I and one YouTube show. We'll take a look and see if we can't recreate your issue and show you some tips and tricks on how to fix that. But here you go. Here's Character Creator 4. It just works. So simple. A click of a button either way. We send avatars over, we send them back dressed. It works so well. It works beautifully between these two characters. So you can see that with this character right here. I could grab any of my MetaTailor content from our marketplace, put that on this character, and send it back to Character Creator. You can take stuff out of Character Creator, mesh extract it over into MetaTailor, and have that on any of your characters. The interoperability is amazing. Like I said, there is nothing else out there that's coming even close to this. Our ability to make smart meshes from MetaTailor and getting that on any avatar, any outfit, any avatar, anytime, even more so than a month ago when I wasn't doing Character Creator 4 streams. We have just blown our library up to the umpteenth amount of changes. There is so much you can do with that. It's absolutely amazing. So that's Character Creator 4 bouncing back and forth. Let's go ahead and take a look at IA1 YouTube show's question. So I'm going to close out of Character Creator 4. I'm not going to save what I was working on because we were just having fun. So you're saying sometimes, let's see if we can't find an ugly shirt. Let's go to design. Let's go home. I'll hit save. Like that. Let's go ahead and go to Big Kev. I'm going to delete a couple of you guys. Let's go to Big Kev right here. So what I'm thinking is happening, and what we can do, bet you this bodysuit would work well. I'll go ahead and close. Let's see. Let's find an ugly shirt on Sketchfab. Due to current things on Sketchfab, I will be searching Sketchfab not on my screen. So instead of just staring at that, you can stare at me, look over here, bring you over here. Sketchfab had some stuff that is not YouTube friendly last time I was searching out. We're looking for a shirt though. A shirt, any shirt. A shirt that will cause problems. And let's go ahead and go to downloadable. And 3. Where's a shirt in a nice tight A pose? Without too many wrinkles. This casual shirt right here. Take a peek at my screen. It'll let me download it. All right, I can share my screen again. So I'm on Sketchfab. We're just going to grab a shirt out of nowhere. We're going to grab this casual shirt. What I was looking for was something with a nice tight A pose in here that could cause some of those arm and shoulder issues. When you rise in that area, kind of like in this armpit here, it's a little tight. Let's see if we can't find some tips and tricks to make this a little bit better. The ideal situation would be posing it in an A pose. Finding a shirt in an A pose or something like that, that'll give you the best mobility and movement. Sometimes, or not an A pose, a T pose. Sometimes that's obviously not possible. Sometimes our shirt comes in an A pose and we need to kind of work with it. So we're going to go ahead and download this 3D model. I'm going to download this FBX. And we're going to try it with this shirt and see if we can't run into the same issue you're running into. All right, let's go ahead and get out of Sketchfab. And I'm going to quick double check this shirt in Maya. I always like to check Maya first. Clear any bones or useless things that are in it. Grab these two right here, drag them out of my zip folder. Thank you, WinRAR. Got our textures, just a shirt and a button. Okay, that works. That works. I don't need normal maps. I don't think there's going to be anything, but we'll do a quick check. It's pretty giant. Oh, there is. There's some weird bones in here. Glad I looked. Delete this nonsense. What do we got here? So there's the button. Button. Oh, okay. It's ugly. That's a term for it. All right, okay, that's everything. I was just making sure there wasn't, I mean, it's got some weird back face issues. I'm gonna combine it all. Go to back face culling, that would go away. So it's got the either scan or marvelous designer wrinkles in there. I don't love those. If it wasn't the end of the night, I would probably go in and try to find a shirt that does not have these pre-built-in wrinkles, because those wrinkles won't iron out in MetaTailor. This honestly looks like a photo scan. That's why it's got this horrible decimated triangle mesh with no edge flow. And lots of polys, but we'll give it a shot. The worse the mesh, the better it's going to be for us to kind of show you what's going on. So let's go ahead and hit File, Export Selection. Desktop. Let's call this Shirt Fixed. Export Selection. All right, let's bring it into MetaTailor. So our character right here is in an A pose or a T pose. I keep mixing those up tonight. So that could be helpful. But let's go ahead and see what we can do. Import cloth and accessories, jump to our desktop, shirt fixed, open. It's got those buttons, got those textures, amazing. Next step, call it a shirt, source dimensions, gargantuan, nope, we won't use those. Next step. All right, so the first thing I do when I'm bringing in an article of clothing like a shirt is I match the neck. The neck is going to tell me how big this shirt needs to be in my scale. And remember, when we're importing, we're just aiming to hit about 60% accuracy. It doesn't have to be perfect. So the neck sticking out right here, that's A-okay. Shirt coming down to here, that's fine. We'll go ahead and hit confirm, and now we'll start our pose match. I'll bring my shoulders in a little bit. I'll bring my elbows down. We'll go into gear 3 here for a moment, making our arms a little bit huge. But then as we bring them down and in, it'll scale them down properly and kind of get this into this pose. And so one of the big tricks I find to kind of make sure those armpits stay nice is to try to get some overlap in the areas you want to have control. So right here you can see the shoulder, the underarm's kind of hitting this side of the shirt. I'm going to pull that out a little bit. I'm going to make his shoulders extra broad in order to kind of get more chest in here. Same with the hips. I'm going to pull the hips out. I'll pull the hips up a little bit. I'll pull my elbow out just a little bit more, aim for more part of this shirt, and try to make a clear separation in your pose match right here, because that's what's going to determine it. So when we do our preview pose wrap, you'll see more of the shirt stays on the arm and less of this underside gets pulled up with it. That's one of those moments where you're going to run into those issues. So by cheating it a little bit outside the mesh, it'll work a little bit better. So let's go ahead and hit confirm and next step, and let's see how well this works. Let it tailor, let it work. And that gave us a much cleaner underside right here. That was a really bunched up shirt. Now these wrinkles here, that's always going to be there. These wrinkles here, that's always going to be here. That's part of that issue of this being a bad mesh. Not necessarily anything MetaTailor is doing, but by cheating those out a little bit, we're getting a little bit better. You can see the underarm here is sagging a little bit. When you run into something like that, you've got the option of shrink wrapping it or doing your push-pull brush or a couple other ones, but I could take this under here and just do a little shrink wrap and touch that up a little bit. Same with this side, get that a little bit closer to the arm. Like that, kind of come in here, push it a little bit like that, and then maybe I'll grab my push-pull and just kind of fill in those spots that I grabbed a little bit too much, just kind of inflate those up a little bit. This weird cuff over here, once again, that's an issue with the mesh. You can see this cuff's looking fine, so somehow there's an asymmetry between the mesh. But there you go. Now those arms are moving a lot better. If I was to go into my animations, you can see running's looking fine. Let's do a skin weights test. That's looking really good. That's a really nice skin weighting, given the fact that it's got these, like I said, weird wrinkles and ugly seams. So that's on this shirt. Now let's go ahead and take it back, and I just kind of want to show you what you might be running into to show you that this fix probably did help. What I did probably helped. I'm going to delete the shirt, delete the asset here, and let's import it again. And this time, I won't take those cheats. I won't take those little tips. And I'll just try to match it a little bit more accurately, which you might think, well, Mark, don't you want to match it accurately? Don't you want to be as accurate as possible? And this is where I'm saying no. You want to try to consider where your skin weights, where you want those skin weights to have influence. So let's say when you started your pose match, you did not keep your shoulders out wide like I had it. But instead, you kind of bring those in. You bring your elbow down. You match it right here. You bring your hand down. Match it nicely right there. And you really aim for nothing sticking out. You're going less than that 60%. Looking at these elbows, like, no, these elbows got to come forward, come down a little bit, right around there. Trying your best, and you think, okay, I'm not going to mirror it because this side, you can see right there, that this part I did miss last time where there is asymmetry in the arm, so I turned off the mirror for a moment. All right, then you preview your pose wrap, and you can see a lot more is coming with it. A lot more is making that ugly upside down triangle shape. Now let's go ahead and hit confirm. Like I said, I'm doing this one wrong on purpose. And there's some of that ugly shaping you were talking about. It's going to take a lot more to fix this stretching because I didn't take it. Look at these shoulders. Those don't look as good. So because I didn't cheat it outside of the mesh, because I didn't take those extra steps to think, where do I want my skin influence to be? Not does it match the pose perfectly, but rather, I want only the chest to affect this area right here. So I'm going to pull the chest out past that. That way the arm isn't touching it. I'm going to make the arm smaller and pull the arm away from the chest. That's the big difference. Thinking about skin influence instead of matching the pose perfectly. You can still go in and fix this. You can still grab your shrink wrap tool and try to come in here and paint all this back in. You can see the arms are matching nicer, but a lot of this is underneath here. And that's a lot of movement. Look at that. Look at how much I'm shrink wrapping this and pushing that in before we even get close to the body. Shrink wrap our arms a little bit more. Hit confirm, see what that looks like as it kind of redraws all that. And so you can see there's some big ugly seams here where it didn't quite shrink wrap it properly. So in that first one, the better way to do that is to cheat your model outside to avoid those ugly underarms and ugly issues like that. So hopefully that answers your question, IA and one YouTube show. But it's all about that kind of initial importing and making sure you got good matching, good pose matching, and you're thinking about the skin weights. All right, well, that's it for me, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging around. We had a bunch of views tonight. That's awesome. Hopefully more people hop on and watch afterward. But Character Creator 4, MetaTailor, we're best friends now. We're interconnected. We got matching plugins. You're able to throw stuff back and forth with such ease. Make sure you like and subscribe down below to see more live streams like this one. We're back. We're on Saturdays. Like I said, we were just waiting for all the bugs and little fixes to be as fixed as possible. We saw a couple here and there as we were working. We're still working on those, but they work. You can export them out. You can export the weights out of MetaTailor, bring those into Character Creator 4. There's so many different things. We're so close to perfect. Everything's going to have bugs on the initial release, but we're back to our Saturdays at 9 p.m. Back to our stream. So bring your questions, bring your concerns. We're probably doing more Character Creator next week. First month, MetaTailor, $10 off. The link is in the chat. If you need that link, feel free to ask me for it or ask us in the Discord or in the comments. We did the Spartan suit from Sketchfab. That's linked in the chat as well. If you want access to that, message me, message us in the Discord, message in the comments. I think that's it. I think that's all my announcements, everything that we covered, everything that we did. Just kind of taking a look, checking my notes. But we're back. We weren't ever gone, but we had such a new fun thing that we wanted to make sure it was perfect before we jump back on our stream. And I'm excited. All right. I'm double check my notes. I think that's it. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you all so much for sticking around and creating that Spartan suit of armor with me. Go on, go get dressed. Show us your creations in the Discord. Bye, everybody.